let's just get the SpellStone and get going. Because, as you might have guessed, the last token well is inside the Ocean Forest Point Temple. Just like there was one at the Volcano Forest Point that I showed you, there's one here that I showed you. Do that. The floor tile thing is 1 2 2 1 3 1 2 3 1. So 1 2 2 1. And you can't see it there because by the time you start pressing these switches, it goes away. 1 2 2 1 3 1 2 3 1. I didn't get launched across. Now if you head this way, off to this little nook, there's again another portal door. Well, portal door, that's very redundant. And it hides our last token well. And I'm guessing, no, not a Baphomet, even though there seem to be a lot of Baphomets hanging around these wells.
Show me 20 scarabs, and I'll give you a cheap token.
And one more time, we throw money down the hole. Now take it to the maze. We will do that after we've done this. Because, as you can guess, the end of the game is coming up. And also, those tokens look like wheels of cheese. Am I crazy? But, anyway. I think here you can just go around this way and climb up here. You don't have to go through that whole rigmarole pathways. I don't even know if I think the warp pad's still active. Yes, it is. But I guess what I was going to say is we are coming up on the end of the game here. And as with a lot of games of this type, there is a point of no return, if beyond which you cannot return. People disregard that last combination of words. That was just stupid. But yes, once you reach a certain point in this game, you can no longer go back. Also, that rocket pad is now deactivated, which means we have to make another one. And that's going to involve further pain. This door is also sealed, so we can't go through that way to do that. But the water level also seems to be higher this time around. So we can now reach that way, onward, to that section of the temple. I can rocket up here. What does that get me? I don't think it was much. Yeah, in fact, I don't think there's anything up here now. You can hit those brains, but I don't know. But yes, there's a point in this game from which you cannot return to your normal wandering around and doing things, because it locks you into a sequence, to the end game sequence at a certain point. And even within that end game sequences, there are points from which you can no longer go any further back. And inside it, it's weird and hard to explain without spoiling things, or at least spoiling what happens next. Okay, so I'm just going to say this. I know when the points of no return start happening, and I will let you know when we hit them. If we fall in, we can climb that slope, which looks like we should slide down, but we're apparently sure of our footing in that. Slide that into that little area there. We can climb up, and flick a switch to open that door. Now, It's a matter of getting to that door because the water level is too low for us to reach. So, sorry about that. So we can jump down here. There's a sharp claw door. Open the box and put on our sharp claw suit, and that opens the door. So you jump to the door, flip the switch, and that raises the water level, which makes these things threatening. And if you time your shot with the fire blaster so that when they open, you can get rid of them, which I never actually thought to do during the rest of this game. I just thought of that on the fly. I was like, hey, can you actually kill these things? Yes, you can. Anyway, along this way, we've got another sharp claw to fight. And this guy is much better at blocking and breaking our combos and actually just fighting in general than a lot of people faced. But once you get in a rhythm, he goes down easy anyway. And this room. Remember that weird puzzle that we had to do when we on the other side of this place? That was sort of similar to looking to this room, but the puzzle was whatever we already did. And remember how there was a puzzle in the two similar puzzles in the Volcano Force Point Temple, but one involved putting out fires of specific colors in a specific order? Well, this is kind of similar to all of that. Because it's similar to the other puzzle we did at this point in the first time through. But there's colors to the flames now. And rather than putting them out in a specific order, instead, see how they have the colors corresponding here? You have to put them out with the corresponding Krazoa statue or they won't stay out. It is kind of tricky. I mean, aiming is annoying enough. Tricky. The way you were rolling, it looked like a bathroom dad jumping, and I was about to flip my Anyway. I cannot hit that one from here, so I'll just aim for the yellow again. And I missed my chance. This puzzle is honestly one of the trickier things of this game to me, if I remember it correctly. And not really because for it being hard at all. That was a weird delay, but it seemed to work out in my favor. Anyway, I think I'm in fairly decent shape. I've only got one flame left to put out. And I just have to time that. I think I was too late again. Yeah. Okay, maybe the same thing I did there. It'll just start leaning down. Yes. What? Okay. Clearly I need to take a different tack with this. Okay. Is that gonna time right? No, just a little too late. Again. Because I lose this after saying I looked like I was in decent position. There we go. And that basically gives us another sliding block puzzle. And positions us right in the doorway, even though we were standing right there. But anyway, I'm beginning to digress a bit. We can now climb up this wall. And, well, the only reason to climb up this wall is to get a little bit more magic so we aren't close to running out. But now let us take a look at this set of walls. These walls still surround me, as it were. I'm screwed. So I might as well just show you, I guess, what happens when you push it against the wall. It just slides through the wall and reappears. Yeah. So let's go this way instead. Now go this way. And now this way. Now let's take a look at what we can go 2 ways. That one's gonna not. Putting it this way is just gonna make it disappear, so let's go that way. And this sliding block, you don't actually have to hit the switch-looking thing. You can actually just hit the box, and it'll still slide. That's a little weird. But anyway, we've already solved the puzzle. It's not like they made you think too much with this one, really. They just had an easy, tricky little thing at the beginning that you could possibly screw up. Then we go into here once again. Now I'm confused because it looks like it was the same. It looked like it was the same boost pad that. Oh yeah, it wasn't the same because this was that useless bathroom dad that I was talking about. That you would get the other trip. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm just getting turned around all sorts of places here. But this brings us up to here, and another bridge to build, just like in the other side. But. This place is very symmetrically built. That's kind of the whole point of it, I guess. And that is definitely blue, I believe. So let's see if we can't light that up when it's blue. Is it supposed to be blue? No, it's supposed to be blue. I just missed, I guess. I don't know, my eyesight's slightly weird, I guess. But with that, let's warp to the SpellStone chamber once more. And deposit the final SpellStone. No, I wasn't trying to disguise a yawn as a more enthusiastic voice than normal.
Where are we going?
You're just out of your mind. We're all out of our minds here. We're all mad here. Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Bum, ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Ba-ba-ba-bum. All the planetary energy is now contained. And the planet, all the chunks of the planet, are floating back down into place. Did we do it?
it, Fox! Guys, are you seeing this? Mission complete! What's going on?
Wait.
We've placed all the
What?
SpellStones.
There must be more to it, Fox. Since you left Walled City, I've been studying your mission, and I've noticed there's something hidden at the top of that huge temple. It looks like a Krazoa shrine entrance.
Oh yeah, I could have told you that. Oh, come on. Let's get back to the Hollow.
And of course, there's something else.
Food!
Yes, we know. There's food. I could go for some food. But essentially what that tells us yes, we already had it basically spelled out for us in the cutscene, Slippy. But anyway, what that basically tells us is that even though we've placed all the SpellStones, so there's no longer anything trying to push the planet apart, it still takes the Krazoa spirits to bring the planet back together again. And since they're gone too, well, we've restored four of the 6. But essentially there's still a little left to do. And that's why the game is not over yet. And so with that, we must make our way back to Thorntail Hollow. Could stop back in the Lightfoot Village, but really there's no point. And as Peppy said, our next destination is actually to go back to the Walled City. Now this is where things get slightly weird, because if you remember that when I bought the high def display thing here with the weird zoom setting that goes up to 13.23, when I bought that, I pointed out that you don't need it at that point in the game. And I believe I mentioned that I would explain when you're supposed to buy it. Technically, it's the last thing you need to get from the store. You need it when you go back to the Walled City this second time. I'll explain why when we actually get to the Walled City and we need to use it. But the thing is, it never tells you until you get to the Walled City, and even then, the only thing that tells you whether you're supposed to buy, that you're supposed to buy it is Slippy. Slippy's hints thing. So it's one of the less obvious things in the game. You're just supposed to buy it anyway, I guess. And when you get to that point, say, oh, hey, I already have that. But if you need to, you can actually fly back down to the planet, buy it, and then fly back up. You just have to go through the flying segments more times than necessary. But what I will say now is when you get the Krazoa spirit from the shrine and at the top of the temple at the Walled City, that is the big point of no return. Because since you can possibly need to fly back to the store to get the high definition goggles things, stuffs, whatever, they can't prevent you from flying back to the planet while you're there. But as soon as you get the Krazoa spirit, getting in your R-Wing and flying back to the planet will trigger a different scene. And it's that difference that marks it as the point of no return. But essentially, you're going to want to have everything that you can possibly imagine wanting to do in this game done by the time you reach that. By the time you fly to the walled city this last time. I might be skirting on spoilers here, but I honestly really don't know if I care. Because I'm kind of warning the player who wants to play this game but hasn't. Without actually saying what happens, I guess. But what I will also say is, it's like, because of that point of no return. Oh, hey there, lady.
Fox, something is not right. The walled city has not yet returned to the planet. My husband is still stuck up there. You did return all of the SpellStones.
Of course, but wait. The spirits. They must have something to do with it.
You're right. Without all the spirits, the magic cannot be channeled back into the planet.
Your boss said to return to the walled city.
Happy's not really
there
my
must
boss,
be a shrine
but
we've yet to find.
basically that just summed up everything I've been telling you along the way back here. Just in case you hadn't quite gotten it. But essentially, you want all of your business here on the planet to be done and taken care of by the time you leave the walled city again. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Yeah, I've already gotten all the money I need. But you no longer use the warp stone after this point in the game. You no longer need to use the warp stone. However, I will be going back to the warp stone one last time to deposit the cheat tokens into the maze. I will meet you back at the end of the maze, because you've already seen me stumble my way through it. You don't need to see me do that again. And with that, we have made it back to the, well, and we can drop all of our tokens. Now, some of these give us secret messages like this instead. The well looks into your future. There is sorrow ahead. A close friend does not have much time left. It will be hard to accept, but you will grow. That message is in every copy of the game. These secret messages, except for one. And I will explain that whenever I see it or possibly don't see it. I think my copy of the game is one that doesn't have it. Actually, I think it's I actually don't even know all the specifics. There's some differences between the North American and Europeans, but some copies of the European have it and some don't, and I don't know about American copies. It's weird. But that message, there is a close friend does not have a whole lot of time left. There, and all of that message. There are some theories as to what it is. Some say it relates directly into the game itself. Like, it's a direct reference to the plot of the game itself. Some say it's about Peppy getting older and possibly not having much time left with the team. That's kind of weird. But because he's still around in later games, just not as active a role, I guess. But it's a possibility. Other people believe it refers to something that I'm not going to quite spoil yet, but I will bring it up when it happens. And still others believe it's actually a meta reference to the split up of Nintendo and Rareware, with Microsoft buying out the company right as this game was finishing production. So make of that message what you will. It's an interesting thing anyway. There are some other secret messages and some other extras unlocked with these tokens. All of the message ones are ones I hadn't yet gotten. See, cheat activated. The well looks into your future. His life force is strong. His existence is like a virus. I can hear his breath in every corner of space. He will not only use the evil heart of others, but can also corrupt those that are good. That sounds ominous, doesn't it? The meaning of that will become more apparent later. Again, that is actually more obvious and directly referential to the game and is definitely spoilers. I may have said too much. Drop this token in. Move on. The well looks into your future. A friend who has left still cares about you. The bond of your friendship still remains. He will soon appear before you, and you should accept him with all your heart. Again, that is a direct reference to the plot of the game, and explaining any more about it would spoil things. That's more evidence for the explanation about the first message that is directly related to the plot of the game and will spoil things. But with that, got one more token to drop. What does this one have to tell us? The well looks into your future. Fox, I can see you have matured into a strong leader. I am always there with you. Never give up. Trust your instincts, my son.